I don't know about you, but I'm ready for fall, which means I want to read some cozy fantasy. I do want to try to possibly catch up to a horror book I tried, and I feel the need to just do a bunch of things, including the bookshelves. We are going to reorganize them. You guys convinced me. I will be moving things around to read versus unread. I've never done that. I don't know why. They're currently organized by genre, but I think that could be fun to just see visually what I do need to read, shame myself into reading the books I actually own. Anyway, let's talk about the books that I'm hoping to read though. The ones I was saying that I paused it, like it's a soft DNF, did not finish book. I am about 209 pages, chapter 35, not quite halfway through, and there was nothing wrong with the book, but I do want to try more because I did really like Slewfoot by him that I read very early this year. I think it was like one of the first 5-star I gave this year. So like, I believe in you, okay, author? I do. And also, where is it? He always includes drawings in his books, and like they're super creepy and really pretty, and yeah, I want to love you, basically. I want to love you, so I'm adding it. But I did decide to add some cozy fantasy also because I love witchy vibes, and that's what I'm craving right now. So we have had like a few cold days, and like right now it's hot during the day, but it's still cool at night, so you can crack the window. It's like perfect. I'm really feeling that mood, and like I have a bunch of black cats, so like, I mean, look at me, okay? I'm ready for fall. So the two books that I'm also hoping to read are actually ARCs, so advanced reader copies, books that are not out yet, and I want to let you know which ones are worth reading, obviously. So the first one is Brigands and Bread Knives, which I have read two of the books by this author. Legends and Lattes is the one that everyone knows, and then I've read the prequel, but this is the sequel, so I'm hoping for more cozy. I'm not too sure exactly what the topic is about, I'm gonna admit it, okay? I just requested it because I got really excited. I really liked the characters in the series, and I'm hoping we're gonna get more from them. So I'm gonna let you know if it's worth reading or not. It's coming out in November, so soon. And then I also wanted to read The Keepers of Magical Things before it comes out in October on the 14th. And this one is, again, cozy fantasy, but like sapphic romance also. And I know there's magic, which is what I really wanted to read about. Okay, so she is part of this guild of mages, but unfortunately her magic hasn't really been useful yet. So there's that conflict happening. But yeah, look at that cover. Does that not scream cozy fantasy? Plus magic. That's what I wanted to know. So that's kind of the vague plans for this week. Chunky is currently biting the shirt I was wearing before I filmed this video. I'm currently filming a couple videos for the week, and why are you attacking my shirt? I haven't shown you him in a while. This is Chunky. You can't see him at all because he's all black except the little white patch on his chest. He's very grumpy because it's time for his FOOD. And he's very unhappy with me because clock is ticking, woman, right? I didn't know before I had so many cats that cats love a very strict schedule, okay? If you make the mistake of one time feeding them earlier, you're screwed. You're screwed. But I feel very witchy, clearly. So I think that tomorrow or like very soon, I'm gonna start. I don't know how long that's gonna take me, but I don't have a ton of energy, but I really want to dedicate it to this because it's been a mess for a while and I want to see how good it can get. Right, Charlie? I want to be complete. I want to look like a witch. Charlie, baby, you're so handsome. My goodness, look at you. Look at this. Black cat number 2. This is my gentle giant. He's so soft and so gentle. There you go. Escape me. No. Yeah, he's camera shy. Cozy fantasy, maybe some horror. Maybe we can find some fall movies if you have any favorites. Last year I was trying to find some like older movies that were fall vibes, and not everything is aged well, okay? Let's discuss it right now, actually. I tried to watch When Harry Meets Sally, When Sally Meets Harry, whatever it is. I hated him. Okay, I really did not care for the movie. He did not deserve her. She deserved better. I couldn't stand him. Love the sweater though. I want that sweater, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I'm gonna try other ones, I think, this week, and we're gonna test if they aged well. Anyway, before Chunky decides to eat me, I'm gonna go feed them because I want my toes. I'm cleaned, I'm fed, the window's cracked, I have my heated blanket, there's a candle burning, and I have my book, my first book, and I have been looking forward to this all day. I'm not too sure how I feel because I was really happy to be back into that world and I saw, some of my favorite characters, but I don't think it's going to be what I thought it was going to be. I didn't read a summary, okay? The character that owned the bookstore in the prequel moves to the other city to join, Legends and Lattes, Viv, and her coffee shop. But then she gets drunk and then ends up in a cart and leaves the town. And when she wakes up, she's too far to come back. So I think we're going on an adventure when I thought it was going to be I think it's probably going to be cozy because all of his books have been cozy in that series. But I thought it was going to be in a little town and it doesn't sound like it's going to be. So I have to reframe my expectations, but I like the writing anyway, so we'll see what happens. Can I be mean for a second? I am concerned about some of the comments I've been getting from the comment section in my reading vlog about Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, and I wanted to talk about it. You know what, I'm going to try not to actually be mean because it will be more productive, blah, 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 but sometimes it's hard to discuss these things without sounding condescending and rude, but I've just accepted it at this point. Sometimes I'll record little talking portion in vlogs and then I don't post them, and to be honest, it's because my health issues. I just didn't want to deal with the comment section. I feel like as soon as a video goes well, which I've been purposely avoiding, which not really good in terms of successful on YouTube, but the comment section attracts new viewers and it can be a bit more hit and miss, and I just don't want to deal with it. And unfortunately, Catabasis kind of did that already, and I literally just posted it yesterday. I just had to block a few people, and I just was basically, during the video, I was talking about how the whole intellectualism discussion has been going around, and I am concerned because I was trying to explain how I got a bit annoyed by some of the reviews I've seen, negative reviews of the book, because clearly people were not understanding. I used to give people a lot of grace because English is not my first language, so sometimes the comments I was getting, I'm like, maybe they also don't understand English that well. And I don't think that's actually the issue. And I'm going to go ahead and delete those comments before I post this video because my goal is not for people to go and argue with other people in the comment section. That's really not the point. But it needs to be said. So I'm going to use the least serious example in order for this to, again, possibly be a productive discussion. I'm not even sure where to start, but I have been very vocal about sexism as an example. I've mentioned how, in my opinion, there's a difference between a character, a world, or an author being sexist. And when I complain, it's because I feel like the author is being sexist, and that's what's reflected in the book. I feel like generally that is well received. I've gotten a lot of hate, mostly from men. Again, I've mentioned that in the past. There's no surprise here. And I feel like with this discussion of Catabasis, it's women, mainly white women, and I think it's an important thing to mention. Again, we're going to backtrack and go back to the silliest comment I've received to start the discussion at least. One of the critique I've heard a lot is people saying that the author is condescending. And I think that, to me, it was obvious that it was the character and the world of academia that is condescending. And the author, maybe due to a lot of critique she's received, was trying to show you more than tell you, and it went way above people's head, which again kind of goes back to the discussion of intellectualism or literacy crisis that people were talking about. You've heard those stats, which is what I was talking about in the video, that 54% of people can't read past a 6th grade level or whatever, and I had finally learned the actual definition, because it's not that people can't read the words on the page, is that they cannot understand past that. And some people were saying that they had an issue with the portion I mentioned, which was about Canada. And to me, it was very clear, I can put the quote, that it was an example that the character was a snob. She is, because she has dedicated her whole life. She wants that freaking diploma from Cambridge. That's all that matters. She's willing to go to hell, literally, to get it. And she can't understand why someone would crack under the pressure and leave to go to Canada. And then that's why she says this very condescending sentence. To me, it's very clear that the author isn't the one saying that. She doesn't have a personal vendetta against Putin. It's really, I'm Canadian, clearly. Literally, maple syrup in those veins. I don't think she's insulting us. Again, to me, it is so clear, but I've gotten multiple comments of people saying that they were really annoyed by that comment. And that's literally what I mean by like, I don't think that people have any reading comprehension. And I don't understand how the author is surviving the comments, the reviews, because I get pissed. Because like, how do you not understand the difference? And like, again, I don't think it's productive to be annoyed by it like that, but I deal with basically no stupid comments compared to a lot of other people. Like I've seen comment section and I honestly wish that creators would just delete and block these people because I don't want to see it. It really ruins the experience. Like I'm going on your channel, I like you, I read the comments, and then it's a bunch of hate. Like do yourself a favor and everyone else, just block these people. That's what I don't even question it anymore. I just like, I don't want that. I don't want anyone to see that. It's pointless. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. That's probably why I don't do discussion videos. I go everywhere. But I feel like a lot of the critiques that she's received are probably not due to the fact that she's condescending, but it's because she's an Asian woman from also a privileged background, which probably plays a role into it. And it also probably plays a role in the fact that her books are very wrongly categorized as romantasy by some people, which apparently she may have said that this book was her most like romantic book, which like, okay, whatever, which I can kind of see why she would say that, but I still would never categorize it as a romantasy. Like if anything, sure, maybe a fantasy with a subplot of romance, but if you go into it expecting like a romantasy like Sarah J. Maas, yeah, this is not going to be your thing, obviously. I feel like we wouldn't be having these discussions if she was a white man. And I've had to block some people that left vile comments, especially in link to Babbel, which I think part of the reason I don't really have these discussions is also because English is my second language. And as much as I'm bilingual, I feel like I still not sound stupid. Like I can never explain things the way I want to. Like in my head, it makes sense. When I say it and I edit, I'm like, ugh. Anyway, I feel like she can't win because on one hand, in this case, she doesn't over-explain everything. Some things are a little bit more subtle and it's going way above people's head. And then in Babbel, which people talk about a lot, they'll say that she over-explained things. And I was guilty of saying that. When I first reviewed it, I mentioned that she grabs you by the neck, shoves yourself in the message, and just rubs your face in it. I said that. And I don't really take it back. I still think that a little bit more subtlety would have pleased a lot of people, myself included, but I don't say that anymore because I've seen the reviews, I've seen the comments I get, and I feel like people needed shovels down their throat because it's still above their head. And I'm getting those comments, people being like, oh, is she still hating white people in that book? Are you serious right now? I get people angry at me and like announcing that they're blocking me because I hate bigots. If you feel attacked when I mention bigots, I don't know what to tell you. But these people keep reading her books, keep hating on her. Just move on. There are so many other books. Like you're allowed to obviously leave a review on Goodreads or whatever. Like that is fine. But when people say a book is bad or a book, like her books are racist towards white people, it makes me lose my shit. And again, to go back to whole like listening comprehension, literacy crisis, reading is a skill. If you practice, you can improve. Like when you're starting to learn any language, like the first language you ever learned or a second language, you don't start reading the classics. It's hard. Yes, you don't have to ever read them if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you. But to get to that point, you have to work on it and you improve. When I first started reading in English, I tried to read some Jane Austen. I couldn't do it. It was Mansfield Park 2, which was not my favorite when I eventually read it. But like, she is hard. Her books are rewarding and eventually I did really like them. But I could have just hated them no matter what. I don't know how to conclude this. I just wanted to rant because I'm actually getting concerned about the reading or listening comprehension of people. I used to believe that it was just my English or people, maybe their second language, their first language was also not English. Like I would post my worst books of the year, for example. It's a very negative video. And like at that point, it almost becomes a joke, right? I hated that book the first time I read it. I had to defend my point for a whole year. So it becomes more dramatic and it's just funny to make it extra dramatic. Obviously, sometimes it's serious topics, but like generally speaking, the tone is somewhat funny when I can. And people take it so personally because again, listening comprehension, but I thought that it was like me, that English wasn't their first language. And I feel like lately I've learned that it's really not the case. I'm genuinely worried for the world. Like I've heard people having these discussions. I've heard even teachers say that their kids can't read. I feel like I've been seeing it so clearly in my comments when I review some books that I don't understand. Over the pandemic, I think a lot of people started reading more, which I think is wonderful. And I think that unfortunately the publishing world, the publishing world has started really pushing through books that are just like tropes and like popcorn reads, which again, I do like at times, but to the point that people don't improve their reading comprehension. It becomes like very basic level. And as soon as people are faced with something a little bit more, then it becomes too much. As soon as it makes them feel uncomfortable, whether it's again, level of the language or the topic, it becomes a big crisis. It becomes a horrible book. It becomes them feeling judged. Anyway, I'm going to end this here because I could continue for hours and I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, which we're going to blame on English. It's not fully that, but I think some of you can probably summarize things a lot better than I ever could in the comment section. And I'm giving you the warning, although at this point it's probably too late, I will be blocking people. Okay? I think I've made it obvious, but I will happily block anyone that I don't like reading your comments. So think twice or don't, so I can actually prevent you from leaving more in the future. Ultimately, this isn't a democracy. This is a queendom. Claudia is at the top and she doesn't want to see it. So yeah, if anything, I'm frustrated by my inability to express myself as good as I would like, as well as would like, whatever, off. See? So I'm going to go back to reading and feel free to discuss the topic politely in the comments because that block button, very appealing to me. I finished my first book and I wanted to update you. Long story short, I think it's going to be a 3-star. I'm a little bit disappointed, but it sounds like it's my fault because, like I mentioned in the first update, I thought it was going to be about the main characters from the series, but it looks like it's following it was following the main character from the prequel, and it wasn't what I was craving. I thought it was going to be, the little village, little town vibes, and it was definitely going on an adventure, main character feeling kind of lost in life, kind of a middle life crisis, I guess, and they're not even excited about going on an adventure at first, but they're feeling really lost, right? And eventually they realize that the last thing they want to do is to go back to their little town and have to take care of a library and the stress of selling books and everything. And bookstore, not library, but I can't relate. But yeah, I just feel like it was cute. I still like the humor. I still like the writing from the author. It just wasn't what I was craving. And you know how I keep saying like these books, these cozy fantasy, as much as I crave them, I feel like sometimes they feel a little bit like Hallmark movies, but in a bad way, but sometimes in a good way. So I'm going to try the second one. From what I've read, I went back and checked what it was about to be sure, and it really sounds like it's going to be exactly what I'm craving. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm going to give it 3-star. It's not the book's fault. I think just a heads up is going to help you if you were thinking about it, decide if you want to follow that character or not for the rest of the series or in this specific sequel. But yeah, to cheer yourself up though, I will be starting to do the library, which I'm excited about. I just have less time to do it than I thought I would because I had a long morning and I have to keep an eye out on Charlie today because, oh my gosh, it never ends, okay? Never have 4 cats. I never wanted 4 cats and I love my life, but my gosh, I thought it was Claudia, okay? Long story short, I was trying to do everything I had to do this morning, including I worked out. And Claudia, I joke that I live with the enemy because she is always attacking my workout stuff. I don't know if she just doesn't want me to become stronger, higher in the hierarchy in the house. Although she shouldn't worry. She'll never be at the bottom. It's always going to be Chunky because he's such a pushover. But she has done her claws on my yoga mat. I'm looking up because I have to hide it at the top of the cabinet. I put my stuff there. And she also attacks the weights. I don't know if it's the material. She likes it. So when I came back 5 minutes ago in this room and I saw that, I thought it was her. Because she was in the room too. So I was like, that's it. She did it. But then I noticed, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, I'm going to have to do like a little close up, little teeth marks. It looks like Charlie decided to eat the yoga mat and like there are chunks missing, but like I found a bunch on the floor. So I'm hoping he didn't swallow any or too many. He did the same thing with my foam roller, which I have to lock behind a door. But like, that's why I didn't have the door open all the time in here. People were saying, let the cats in, which when I'm in here, fine. But when I'm not, I did it for a few days and I clearly am regretting it right away. I don't even know how he did it because it was at the top of the cabinet. That cat can jump though. But like usually he was able to reach the top if I had something next to it, but I moved it. I don't even know how he climbed it. It's like 6 feet tall. Like, how did he jump? I thought about going to the emergency vet, but he's actually normal. And I know if I call, they're going to tell me to keep an eye on him. And like, if he acts abnormally, doesn't eat or something, then obviously bring him. And I have health insurance because of that, okay? Because he does that. And yeah, I'm probably going to have to constantly stop to check on him and make sure he's fine. But it doesn't matter. I don't have to do it in a day. I feel like there's some pressure when you watch other people do stuff online. I have to almost stop watching other people because you compare yourself, right? Even like house renovations, you see people do it. It looks so easy and quick. And then you do it and you're like, oh shit. So that's how I'm feeling about my shelves right now. No pressure. I'll do as much as I can. I just want to like start by doing this part. Like, I want fun read books that I have enjoyed in my background, and you know, we'll go from there. So as a reminder, this is our before. So we have fantasy, sci-fi, we have mystery, thriller, horror, we have nonfiction, classics, and this is the everything else that is a mess in the unhaul shelf, which I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there or not. I don't know yet. So yeah, priority, we're gonna try to do this portion. And oh yeah, there's also just the mess, which So let's start the work. Oh, this is going to be the unread and the read. Let's do this.
If spring is the season that wakes me alive, then fall is the season to contemplate life. Oh, yeah. I don't know what is it exactly in this time of year that makes the melancholy me reappear. Oh, back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist and sea, sand and amber trees. 'Cause it still feels like summer, but it's...
I already started, and I feel like it's been helpful to force myself to make a decision about every single book. I was able to put a few more in my unhaul, and even right now I'm going through my Stephen King's, and I know this one everyone says is his best. I did watch a TV show, but it's making me question, do I even want to read these books, you know?
Soaked in nostalgia slowly, all the leaves they're turning brown, 'cause it still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna see the cool wind sneak back.
Yeah, those are all the ones that I have read, plus my unhaul pile. Keep in mind, I get rid of the books that I have read, especially if I didn't like them. So usually the ones that stay are the ones that I did overall like.
'Cause we lived when it was all bare feet, tan skin glistening beneath the heat, evening swirl into a bird song beat.
Okay, so I added the ones that were from my wrap-up pile, so I did read a couple more, and I put up with more in my to-be unhaul pile, so a little bit better. So this is how this is going. They're all there, and I still have to do this second half, so let's do that.
But it's now so very bittersweet, so I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. I keep on forgetting, times learn how to fly, and before I know it, it passes me by. Oh, I don't know why when life is beautiful I start to...
Clearly, I read a lot of fantasy. This is, yeah. So, to be fair, these were not my main genres, so definitely making more progress. Now, let's see. Sci-fi, I think I got rid of a lot after reading them, so let's try.
It'll slip through my fingers and just disappear. Oh, yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist and sea, sand and amber trees.
So that was still a good amount. You can see I had specific shelves where I had read everything. I was trying to have it in my background, but I didn't end up filming that much on this side yet. But now we have to find a way to put everything in there. It's gonna fit. This side is making me more nervous, but whatever. Actually, I'm trying to decide which genre should go where, because I want you to be able to see what I have liked, so you can kind of see if we have similar taste or not. I feel like classic might be less important, even though I do like classics once in a while. I feel like fantasy sci-fi should be a priority. Maybe a bit of nonfiction. If I put my mystery thriller horror here. I still have some space for like my everything else, so you can kind of see it a little also.
'Cause it still feels like summer, but it's soaked in nostalgia slowly. All the leaves, they're turning brown. 'Cause it still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna sit the cold wind sleep back in our town. 'Cause we lived when it was our bare feet, dead skin glistening beneath the heat, evening swirl into a birdsong beat, but it's now so very bittersweet. So I guess
I'm getting dizzy from all the bending down. Iron deficiency and bending down do not go well together. I don't even know why I moved to sci-fi. I think it's just because having to move them forces me to see everything. And again, I'm adding a few here and there to my unhaul pile, but mostly it made me realize that I probably need to do like a strict declutter of my sci-fi shelves, but I don't like to get rid of things without trying them, right? And I feel like I would have to read a lot, or, you know, start reading to make decisions on a lot of like hard sci-fi. And again, there's not much oxygen going to the brain lately, so not for now. Maybe that's why I'm putting them in that corner, hidden away. And in the middle, I can put all of like mystery thriller horror and all that. I'm gonna take a little break, then we're gonna finish that. And I think it's gonna be it for today. I really thought it would be quicker, but no. Plus I need to check on Charlie. He's making me stressed.
bittersweet. So I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. Goodbye to summer. If life is an ocean wave, I'll stand on the shore.
Is everyone alive? Yeah. Hello. How your tummy feeling? A little blue? A little chewy? Yeah. Hi, girly. Are you using my pillow? How fancy. How fancy. Was it good? Tasty? Better than your actual food. Yeah, you don't eat your actual food. That's what's tricky. I can't tell when you're feeling not good. Okay. Thanks, Chunk. You really like being in front of a camera. What's up, buddy? Is that your belly? Are you showing me your belly? Oh my goodness, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Yes, Chunk, you're pretty too. You're pretty too. My goodness. My goodness. How's your tummy doing? You're stressing me out. Oh, look at this. This, I cannot. My dude, those little paws. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Oh, full stretch. Nice. Nice. Look at that tail. Yeah. You're making me lose all my brain cells. Yes, Chuck. Oh my gosh. Every time. Every time. Oh my god, another wet belly. Oh my goodness. Oh, the black beans. The black beans. Culpebe. Culpebe. He's so sick of my shit. Oh my goodness. Yes, your belly's cute too. Yes. Can you tell who's jealous? Can't tell at all. Okay, so this is the after. So that's going to be sci-fi, classic, fantasy. This is where I'm less sure because this is my nonfiction. But you have mystery thriller horror and then my everything else, which I might divide because it goes on over that side too. So I might organize this better. You can see I'm out of breath. I do have my last book haul that I should probably put away, but I kind of like seeing it because it's probably going to be part of my... Did you hear Chunky? It's probably going to be part of my next TBR, so I have to go through this still. But yeah, that's the final look for part 1. So things are at least somewhat organized, but there's still so much work to do, so... I'm giving up. Pausing for today. I'm happy, actually. I did a good amount. I think I'm going to shower and try and see if I can find a fall movie to watch and try my second book. So we did good. I do not feel good right now, so that's good. Not progress is good, not feeling good, less good, but we're going to be okay. So, okay, so I couldn't find You've Got Mail, but I do have Autumn in New York, or is it just Autumn, New York? And I just want something fall-esque that I've been seeing. This was not published. It came out in 2000, so it's old. I haven't seen it, so we're gonna try that and we're gonna see how it goes. Has it aged well, basically? It already looks like fall, so hopefully that works out okay. He's gonna be having a relationship with the granddaughter of someone he had a thing with years ago. That is, I know that it says that he's a player, fine, but the granddaughter, she's 22. I'm not sure I can watch that. I can't do it. I think I'm giving up, and I'm only 25 minutes in, to be fair. I struggle to finish movies or TV shows, but between that and my book, the book is appealing to me a lot more, so yeah, I don't think I can do it. They're about to kiss and I'm like so I'm gonna read this one instead. I have some good and some bad news. Good news, I finally remembered that I should be using my microphone because the sound is always too low. Otherwise, I really apologize for the first half of the video. I'm going to try to be better at this. But like I mentioned, I don't have a lot of brain cells lately. I really wanted to actually say thank you because I feel like the last couple of years have been extremely difficult on me, and I've been trying to not to hide it. I'm just someone that I don't like to talk about things that are going bad until they're fixed. And my health issues, as they've lasted so long, right? And one of my symptoms for the longest time was horrible brain fog, and I felt dumb, which comes back to the discussion I had earlier about trying to have longer discussions. It's not working because my brain isn't working. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate everyone sticking around and just being super nice, honestly. Like, I always get asked in person or even in the comment section, how do you deal with the hate? I don't. Like I said, I block people, but in general, 99% of you are so nice and supportive, and it's literally my favorite part. Like, I do like to yap, but this is definitely my favorite part, is the comments and just you. Anyway, and like recognizing the same names, pictures, like, it's the best. Anyway, now I have some good and some bad news. The good news is that I read the book so quickly. I already finished it because I really liked it. It was exactly what I was craving. The bad news is that it's an ebook, so going back to my post-its or my highlighted portions is going to be a little bit of I just realized I had something stuck in my teeth, so please ignore it if you see it. So yeah, I'm going to put you down somewhere and I'm going to try to do this. Okay, I had to move you. We're in the library, so at least you can be distracted by the pile of books. We're going to pretend you're not on a cat tree. So, like I was saying, I finished The Keeper of Magical Things, and it's exactly what I was craving. 4-star. It was the perfect cozy book because the main character, yes, she had useless magical powers. She's part of the magical guild, and she's been there for like 6 years, which is like the longest. You either become a mage or you're kicked out. And her magical power is that she can communicate with objects. So she never really progressed. There's like nothing that is seen as really useful. She doesn't seem to be able to use her magic for anything else compared to others. So that's why she's been stuck there for 6 years. And she is sent on a mission that feels a little bogus, and someone else is sent with her, and it seems to be a punishment because why would this really powerful witch also be sent with her, or mage, sorry. They're sent to this little town to categorize and just hide away magical objects that are kind of seen as not very useful. And as they are there, they're going to be from like enemies to friends to lovers. It's not a spicy book whatsoever. Think like fade to black kind of situation, but they will become friends with people from the little village. Again, they're very wary of them. They don't like magic, they don't trust them, and then they will, help them out, make some friends. There will be cats, which I didn't realize because, again, I have the ebook, so I hadn't seen the cover that many times, and you can see at the top, what is that? So yeah, I liked the humor. Again, the vibes were just great. And I believe the author has a second book, or first book, I should say, in that world. Because you didn't need to read book one to read this one. But now I'm going to go ahead and check. I already checked. My library has it. So I will try it as an audiobook because I haven't been listening to any audiobooks. But I'm going to do that. And yeah, let me see if I can get access to my little quotes because I remember a few things that were cute or funny. Okay, I found the highlight section. I don't use my e-readers often enough, but I'm working on it. So, oh yeah, her name. Her name is Certainty. When English is your second language, I feel like authors need to be careful with names because it would be confusing. And I had that issue. What book was it? I want to say it was a Stuart Turton book. Was it that? That another character had like a name that made it so difficult to read the book. Again, very small thing, but I needed to mention it. Oh, I also liked the cheeky joke. They arrive at this new town and they talk to the innkeeper and they're like, "So, do you just have one bed?" Which is the classic trope, right? I'm guilty of liking that one too. And the innkeeper is like, of course not. What sort of respectable inn doesn't have extra beds? This one is a spoiler, so I'm not telling you. There's also a joke about the barman wiping a plate that's dirty looking. Like, why are they always doing that in movies and TV shows and like books? They're wiping something and it looks dirty. It also mentions morning people are the worst, which I don't sleep very well, but I've always been a morning person. I know time wise it makes no difference, but in my head, if you wake up at like 11 or even like 10 in the morning, you've wasted your day. Just because I know I'm a lot more functional in the morning. So imagining myself wasting my most productive hours, it feels crazy. Like at 11 a.m., I've done my most important stuff. She also mentions liking dandelions, which I love dandelions. I never understood growing up why people hated them. I like them. I also learned something. You know how groups of like animals will have like weird names that nobody knows? Um, what is it? Birds is like murmuration? Murmuration, I'm assuming in English. I swear, English is like French with a weird accent. Or is it the opposite? French is English with a weird accent. Anyway, apparently a group of I didn't even Google it, so if it's not true, I'm choosing to believe it is. It's called a clouder, and it reminded me of that soup, that weird soup. So yeah, a clouder of cats. I don't care if it's true or not. I like it. So, and like, what is it for? What are the blackbirds? I'm really proving my point about the lack of oxygen in my brain, but not the sparrow, les corbeaux, whatever that is in English. Um, it's like a murder. Anyway, clatter. I thought it was really funny, so I need to share. Hope you enjoyed this very long video. I feel like it's going to be one of my longest reading vlog. How do you feel about really long ones? Do you like the chatty ones? Do I need to learn to take notes so I don't yap in every direction possible? Let me know. I'm open to suggestions. And like I said, I'm going to try to use my microphone more regularly. And if you do want me to discuss random or not so random topics, I will try to make them a little bit more structured. And I'm looking forward to finishing this, okay? In a few days for me. I need still to break, okay? It took a lot out of me, but next vlog, which is going to be a read it or haul it. So it's going to be an extra good video. We're going to figure out a way to organize. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But yes, enough chit chat. I'll put more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out. And Charlie's okay. I'll have put it on the screen, but Charlie's fine. I had one extra big found in the litter. I'm assuming it's him. Okay, maybe it could have been someone else, but he's the only one I've seen chewing on things. So yeah. Love you, bye.